This Donald Trump situation and his obsession with that Miss Universe winner is starting to remind me of how he acted when this birther issue first came up. This man does not know how to let anything go. And that's dangerous. When Hillary Clinton brought this up during the debates on Monday in relation to how he treats women and made all of her various comments, all of that stuff is true. And Donald Trump appears to have taken personal affront to the fact that he's a misogynist. That's unfortunate, but now you see an example of how he handles things when he's attacked. Unfortunately for his surrogates, they have to follow his lead to the point of not living in reality. Stephanie Ruhle is going to interview one of Trump's surrogates, and this woman is going to show how unreasonable, irrational she is. She's going to consistently try to run back to Bill Clinton and his infidelity and the fact that Hillary Clinton attacked the women that were making the charges. Now, I'm not a woman, obviously, but women that I know have said that they would have done the same thing as far as dealing with the women that her husband had an affair with. They would not have had a kind word to say about any of them. Now, one thing that you can say, Bill might have approached or pursued some of these women, but that is not necessarily the case. Some of these women might have pursued him, and he just went for, the okie doke. And if there are women out there that have experienced this, they know what I'm talking about. There are quite a few women that see a man that another woman has and decide that they want to go get some of that. And any woman that says that's not true is lying. But that's not the issue here. The issue here is Donald Trump not allowing this thing to die down, which it would have if he had just let it go Monday night or even Tuesday. Just let it go. The damn thing would have died down by now. But he keeps bringing it up. And now he's going on the attack, attacking the model for something that he did. Anyway, here's the interview that Stephanie Ruhle did.
The Clintons are the sordid past. We will be the very bright and clean future.
Bright and clean future. That was Donald Trump yesterday afternoon, and just 14 hours later, he launched a new attack against former Miss Universe Alicia Machado, tweeting, quote, "Did crooked Hillary help disgusting Alicia M. become a U.S. citizen so she could use her in the debate?" And he pointed people to what he called a sex tape. Joining me now, Arkansas Attorney General Leslie Rutledge, a supporter of Donald Trump. Good morning, Leslie. Help me here. Attacking Machado,
good morning, Stephanie.
Attacking Alicia Machado and saying he wants to keep this bright and clean. Is this bright and clean to you?
Well, it's unfortunate that this issue was raised by Secretary Clinton during Monday night's debate. She's the one that jumped off in the ditch, bringing back comments from the 90s. And so it's unfortunate that it turned to that rather than turning to jobs and the economy and national security. So while it's not helpful for the American public to make a decision talking about these issues, I think.
All right, here we go with the spin. Hillary Clinton has not mentioned sex or sex tapes, period. But Donald Trump is the one that's pointing people to go take a look at a sex tape. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm a man, so I'm more than happy to look at a sex tape for enjoyment, but that has really no place in a political campaign. And it's Donald Trump that's pointing us to looking at a sex tape.
That Hillary Clinton took us here.
Okay, that was Monday. This story was dying down. Donald Trump told America, told the millions of people following him on Twitter, our children who in their own little schools have their own little elections, look at a sex tape. And it wasn't just Alicia Machado. Monday night, he doubled down and said, you know, the views on Rosie O'Donnell, they're universal. He's been saying this for years.
Well, again, Secretary Clinton is the one that jumped off in this ditch, Stephanie, and it was not Donald Trump. Donald Trump was responding. Again, I think that we have seen for the last several months that he has been focused on talking about jobs and the economy, bringing back jobs to the inner cities of America. And it's the Democratic playbook to want to drag up issues from the 1990s.
He didn't.
But they don't want to talk about their own issues from the 1990s. Those are off limits for the Clintons.
At 3 a.m. last night, he didn't talk about jobs, the economy. At 3 a.m. last night, he started a tweet storm that said, check out a sex tape. How is that Hillary Clinton? Those are Donald Trump's words. That's Donald Trump's doing. Do you agree that that's a good strategy for him?
Well, I am a fan of tweeting during the waking hour.
Okay, see, so now that's a question that if she were going to answer truthfully, she would have said, no, that's not the right thing to do. But because she's a Trump surrogate, she's got to try to spin away from it. So now all of a sudden it's, well, tweeting at 3 o'clock in the morning, she's coming off of the subject.
So most folks, and so I'm not up tweeting at 3 a.m. generally, so I don't know that that's great advice, but you know, perhaps there are people up interested in issues at 3 a.m.
Okay, whether he tweeted it at 3 a.m. or 3 p.m., calling a woman disgusting, saying you should look at a sex tape, is that a good idea?
It is ill-advised to viciously attack women or anyone for that matter, and that's why when you look back at how Hillary Clinton treated...
See, and then they automatically spin back to the Clinton attacks, but she basically said it's ill-advised that anybody should attack anybody. So now all of a sudden she's taking a specific point and now she's turning around and expanding it and generalizing the specific point.
Those women during the 1990s and went to destroy them. Donald Trump's actions pale in comparison to Hillary Clinton's actions. She literally was, you know, in charge of a war room where they spent six figures on what they called the bimbo eruptions, and she used vicious terminology attacking women to destroy them and said, you know, we must destroy her story. She called Monica Lewinsky a narcissistic Looney Tune. These are vicious attacks from the 1990s.
I think you might be a newlywed. I'm married. I have 3 kids at home. If my husband did that to me and publicly humiliated me like that, my words for the woman he did that with would be significantly worse than a narcissistic Looney Tune. How about you?
Okay, and most women, if they're honest, they would say the same thing. Okay, but this woman is not going to be honest.
Well, certainly, and as a happily married woman with a husband that I trust implicitly, then I would have words for him, but I would not.
You wouldn't have anything to say about her? I'm just saying me. Me? I would have some nasty
I think most women are shocked and appalled at those sort of actions, but again, we're talking about Hillary Clinton's act.
Okay, see, and again, here we go back. She just asked her, you wouldn't have words about the other women. And the answer is hell to the yeah.
actions toward these women to destroy their lives, how she viciously attacked them, called them names that were, reprehensible at best. And really what Mr. Trump is saying, he's trying to focus on jobs and the economy.
So
and Hillary Clinton is the one that took us in this dumpster of politics, and it's out of the Democrats' playbook. And it's really a shame, because most people wake up every day thinking, I want to have a job, I want to have a safe neighborhood to raise my children. I know that's what my husband and I want, my family wants. That's what I want for my niece and nephew.
For
is
sure.
to have a safe neighborhood.
Yeah, but the one thing you don't want to have to wake up to is a tweet that tells you to go look at a sex tape.
And a safe America and great jobs. And that's what people want. And that's what women across America are focused on. They're focused on taking care of their families. They're not interested in this pitiful discourse that Hillary Clinton took us down Monday night and that we have unfortunately had to deal with all week.
So Monday night, basically when Donald Trump made his way into the spin room, he said he held back. He did not go after Hillary Clinton because of Bill Clinton's infidelities, out of his respect for Chelsea. But we're hearing more and more hinting that Bill Clinton's infidelities will become front and center. The one thing I scratch my head on here is Bill Clinton committed adultery. Donald Trump committed adultery. Hillary Clinton has not committed adultery. And when you talk about Newt Gingrich or Rudy Giuliani going after Hillary Clinton, to me, I think many think this strategy could backfire. She didn't commit adultery.
Yeah, and all three of them have. You know damn well that Donald Trump did, and he publicized his adultery. I mean, this is a man who has no shame. Newt Gingrich, he publicized his adultery. He screwed not one of his wives, but two of them, as far as having affairs within his office twice. So he dumped Mrs. Gingrich one with a woman that was in his office, married her, then dumped her for a woman that he had an affair with in his office. So that was Mrs. Gingrich 2. And we have no idea what the hell he's doing right now as far as Mrs. Gingrich 3 is concerned. And Rudy Giuliani, that low-life son of a bitch, he turns around and basically was so bad that his wife kicked him out of Gracie Mansion for adultery when he was mayor. Did I forget to say that Newt Gingrich told one of his wives while she was in the hospital having cancer surgery that he was leaving her? That is the quality of the individuals that Donald Trump hangs around with, and that speaks to his own character.
No, what she did do was viciously attack women who fell prey to her husband's advances. And
we don't know that. Those women could have been making advances to him, so you weren't there, so you can't say that.
Victimized women that were already victims, that she attacked them, called them names, destroyed their lives. These women have had to seek help and outlets that most of us can't imagine. And I'm such an advocate for women and pushing back.
That is such bullshit that you're an advocate for women. With all the crap that Donald Trump has done, it is impossible for you to sit there and support this guy with all of the crap that he said about women. Rosie O'Donnell comes to mind. He called her a fat pig and said that she deserved it, and said that nobody felt sorry for her. That's a bunch of bullshit. But what about his comments about Carly Fiorina and her face, and how nobody could vote for a woman with a face like that for president? Where did that one come from? How do you defend that one? That's what Stephanie Ruhle should have brought up.
Woman, I understand what it's like. And so to watch a woman such as Hillary Clinton victimize victims is just insulting and sad and disgusting.
Then as a woman, how do you feel about the fact that Donald Trump, his golf course in LA, doesn't want any women that aren't good looking? You know, if you've got a flat chest, you can't be a 10, says women are disgusting. This one's a 7, this one's a 6, this one's a fat pig. I don't want my 3-year-old daughter to ever hear those words.
Well, I don't think that is a topic of conversation that Americans are interested in. Again.
Oh, bullshit. See, that's exactly what people are talking about right now. All this sex talk crap by Donald Trump. and how you really can't, you have to really screen the news that has anything to do with Trump, because you never know what is going to be said or what your kids are going to hear.
And Americans are interested in jobs. They want to know that we're going to have a change in administration and that Donald Trump is a change agent. They want these regulations off their backs so that way they can grow this economy and put Americans back to work. That's what people are talking about. The polls show that the most topics that people care about are jobs and national security. They are not talking about infidelities of anyone.
If they're not talking about infidelities of anyone, why would Donald Trump want to bring up Bill Clinton?
Why would Hillary Clinton want to drag up comments from the 1990s about...
Again, she doesn't answer the question.
A woman when she herself has victimized victims of her husband's predatory advances on them. She viciously attacked women.
Just so we have it, Bloomberg did do a poll in August around saying, are people bothered by Trump's actions? 83% said they were bothered by him criticizing a disabled reporter. 75% were bothered by him criticizing a Gold Star family. So the list goes on and on. People are offended by it, and he does need to pull women's votes.
Well, sure, and if you ask someone point blank whether they prefer blue or red, then they will answer the question. However, if you ask them what issues matter to them, the American public, by and large, will say that the economy and national security are at the top of almost every list. And so that's what people are talking about. That's what they're concerned about. They want to go to their children's soccer games. They want to pay their electric bills. They want to take care of their families. They are not interested in these sort of sidebar issues that the Democrats and specifically Secretary Clinton have dragged us into in the last few weeks, and particularly during the debate. She chose to use her time talking about an issue that Americans don't care about instead of talking about real solutions.
We shouldn't have to worry if we're pretty enough to get those jobs you're talking about, correct?
Absolutely not. And what we should be talking about is how we can help women. And what we've seen is that Donald Trump has promoted women throughout his thousands and thousands of jobs that he's created. How many jobs has Hillary Clinton created? Zero is the answer. 0 jobs for any woman, 0 jobs for any man for that matter. And so she has zero credibility when it comes to job creation.
I don't think it's fair to say she's never created a single job for a woman, right? We're not going to walk away. The answer is 0.
Well, she has been on the government's payroll, on taxpayers' payroll, not creating jobs, not being out in the private sector.
All right, well, we're going to leave it there. I just want to be sure we're not going to walk away saying Hillary Clinton the number 0, because it's not 0. All right, thanks so much for joining me this morning. I appreciate it. Have a really good weekend.
Yeah, see, this lady is living in fantasy land, and all of these surrogates have a tough way to go. But the bottom line is Trump is not letting this stuff go. Just like birtherism, Trump refused to acknowledge that President Obama was born in Hawaii. And even after being presented with a long-form birth certificate, Donald Trump kept that going. Why was that? Because his white supremacist supporters loved that kind of stuff. And that's where he's getting a lot of his support from. So now, to be expedient and not to be considered a racist, Donald Trump issues a one-sentence response to the question of Barack Obama and birtherism. I believe that he was born in Hawaii. But won't answer a single question about when did you change your mind, why did you change your mind, because nothing's changed since 2011. Now it appears that he's doing the same thing with this issue with the Miss Universe model that he disparaged and called all kinds of names, including some of them that can be considered racist. And the model did intimate, though she didn't specifically say, that he made his opinions known about black people. So, Donald Trump, you're a loser, and especially on this particular issue.